Hello everyone, I am the Olympic Connoisseur, and this is the reaction, highlights, and thoughts of Brotherhooves Social, which is Season 5, Episode 17. From now on, what I'm going to do is post an annotation, basically saying that if you don't want to rewatch the episode, if you don't feel like you want to see my reactions, you can simply skip to the time that's mentioned in the annotation, and you can simply just see my thoughts on the episode, because, like I said, that's my form of review for now until I have a vector to see, and I really enjoy doing this, actually. So, I'm gonna just basically show you my highlights of reacting. There might be a lot, there might be a little. I have seen, yes, I unfortunately I saw what Big Mac looked like, and yes, it is freaking hilarious. But I have not seen anything other than the picture. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything, so I don't know what's going on. But I know that I'm assuming it has to do with the Sister of Social. So I will pull up the video. I will actually now move my face because that wasn't supposed to happen. Well, whatever. And on the count of go, well, I mean, so now, without further ado, we will begin. Go.
Oh, sneaker-doodles, where is the darn thing? I wish for once I'd remember to label these boxes. Big Mac, be a dear and help me move those. Maybe it's in that one on the bottom.
Of course it is. It's always the one on the bottom. Damn, you sure are strong. Oh, childhood things. It's a toy pony. That's really cute. Oh, poor Big Mac. You don't have the connection between sisters like, because you're not female. I'm predicting that Big Mac's gonna try and make Apple Bloom smile, and it ain't gonna work because she's too old. That's uncanny. I mean, I don't think two sisters would really do that, but whatever. Aw, the blush. Objective fact. Wait, are you saying that someone actually are you really saying that someone besides Princess Celestia actually acknowledged that one of the main six actually saved the world and home? This episode's already better than every single episode ever. Not really, of course, but I won't know until I see the rest of the episode. Nice little animation for the flying thing.
Oh, hey, is that the toy we used to play with when I was little?
Aw.
Neat.
All right then, let's get back to
Aww. Of course, it's a Big Mac episode. Let's make him feel not wanted, and then later reveal whatever that monstrosity of a makeup costume is.
I need a minute to talk with Big Mac.
But not before your butt flashes. Calling it.
What in the...
Knew it, to an extent. I was sort of right. You're being summoned by the gods.
Yup.
Dude, saying yup and nope is fun and all. When it's repetitive, it's sort of annoying. But I know, I figure he's gonna talk. I just pointed something out that I noticed. In Made in Manhattan, Applejack addressed Rarity saying, "Oh no, I guess I'll have to miss the social," basically is what she said, but Apple Bloom just said that here, so she already knew this. Why would she then say in Made in Manhattan as if she was surprised? Obviously these episodes, I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say maybe obviously these episodes weren't put together the thought that they were going to relate to each other is there, but I mean, that is sort of a flaw. But whatever. It's odd if you notice that. Why would she be surprised if this was mentioned before? As in now. Because in the timeline sense, this happened before. Oh, everything's so sad. There's even a violin that indicates sadness. That's pretty funny.
Social's always had a pretty loose definition of what constitutes a sister. As long as you share a bond that represents the spirit of the social, you're in.
Thank you for saying that. I'm glad actually someone said that. I really am.
Got nothing better to do. Let me
Got
wash
nothing
up.
better to
I'll meet
do
you in
with
a
my
little bit.
life. Might as well just suffer with you two.
What is it, Big Mac? Y'all got an idea?
Yup.
Oh, Big Mac's so full of himself. Oh, well, you don't need to have an evil grin. I mean, Spot the background characters.
I do declare it's harder today than the
business end of a corn cob pie.
They're the audience's reaction to a T.
That's Big Mac in a dress.
Big Mac? Why, has Chum...
That was unexpected, actually. I bet no one expected them to point that out. It'd be funny if at the end of this episode, an actual Orchard Blossom cousin that looks exactly like that comes over along and, you know, they I don't know, say like, "Oh no, let's take off your wig," and it's real.
I'm astonished in equal measure.
This voice is so good, I have to say.
That's awful nice of you to say, Cousin Orchard Blossom. I've been told before I'm pretty
He ain't.
nervous.
I meant she ain't your cousin.
I can't bear to watch.
Oh, so she knows too, and she's just not going to acknowledge it. Okay, so this is just Big Mac trying to get attention, which I don't like so much.
It's Sweetie wants to help.
Excellent choice. Ma'am.
Ma'am. Oh, I wanted to say something. I know the episode title is Brotherhooves Social, and I know that all the main characters don't have... I retract said statement. Is this a song? Oh, this is such a heartbreaking song because their parents are, you know, wherever they are. Spot the background character. Whoa, that's Dinky! I'm sorry, I noticed Dinky because, look, he's trying real hard. I mean, you gotta give him that. Oh! That should have hurt. That is actually working really well. I hope it doesn't fail because it has to fail. Yeah, Well, you were doing really well. The race is totally rigged in Big Mac's favor. Oh. Calling it, Big Mac's going to ruin everything. Good, you made everyone... That's a funny face. This is... Oh. Uh-oh. Winning... Oh. Oh, that's gonna be a tragic story. Someone's gonna write a fanfic about that. Oh, and here's the scene that I used.
You know I'm not mad, right? You want to tell me what's going on?
Nope.
Come on.
All right. Well,
Oh,
it's
you can
getting
use your
late.
voice.
You coming?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh,
See you later.
well, this is
Yes.
rather sad. I mean, you know. Come on.
Apple Bloom,
Yeah?
Thank you for talking.
when you were little, you used to look up to me. Thought I was the best thing since Zap Apple Jam. Things are different now.
Oh, stop
Jack's
this.
the hero of the Apple family. Always rushing off to save Equestria. And I'm just here on the farm.
I'm not going anywhere. I
Yay.
know that you're always gonna be here when I need you. Heck, you'll do a whole obstacle
Oh, they said heck? That's almost a swear.
course in high heels if you think it'll help me get something I want. You're my big brother. You've always been a hero
Big
to me,
brother.
Big Mac, and you always
Best
will
friends
be.
forever.
I'm sorry I haven't been letting you know that's how I feel. Guess both of us have been holding back when it comes to expressing ourselves, huh?
Yep.
Of course, end with yup. Nope, that's good.
Apple Bloom, your sister's home. She says she got quite a story to tell about her trip to Maine.
Be there in a bit. I'm spending some quality time with my big brother.
Pleasant ending.
Hey, Big Mac.
Yup.
How
Yup.
do you think Cousin Orchard Blossom would describe this sunset?
Why, dear, I do declare this is the most beautiful sunset my eyes have ever looked upon. Though sitting here on these tree roots is a trifle uncomfortable for my hindquarters.
that was a nice ending. As always, let me get rid of that. Sorry. And as I did last time, I will do yes. That was actually that was a nice ending. Again, look, I'm not going to complain. I can't really take in my thoughts at the moment, but blind react. It was a nice episode. It was very the ending was of course very nice. I called out the shots pretty much. It was somewhat obvious. I know that the audience probably didn't expect that everybody would know about it. They might have guessed that it was a plan and that they did know about it. But, I wouldn't expect that they would have openly admitted that Big Mac knew, Apple Bloom knew, and vice versa and such. Um, I it was actually a pretty good episode. I don't judge poorly on episodes. I'm glad that they just make episodes. I'm glad that the series still exists and that it really is a nice thing. It ain't the best episode, but it's definitely not bad in any way. It establishes a good tie between not just sisterly bonds. I mean, it clearly displayed that at the beginning, but it also clearly shows the bonds at the end. And it sort of did it throughout, but especially at the end. That any sibling bond has or any family bond, and that's the whole point. Is that if you have more than one relative, you're gonna probably like one more than the other, and it's not like you're saying you can't have more than one best friend. But it's also like saying, sometimes you just have a different bond because there is, in real life, there is a different bond that you have with your own gender. There's a bond that you have with your own gender sibling. Like, if I had a brother, which I don't, I would have a different relationship than I would with my sister. And any sister would probably have a different relationship with their sister because that's just how it is because they know and have the same likes when they're young, like when children are very young, they all like the same thing really until they turn like until they're 3 years old and they start developing more of those things like the blue pink theory. But that's just how it works, is that Apple Bloom liked Big Mac. Apple Bloom never stopped liking Big Mac. It's just that, at least at the moment we know, she spends more time with Applejack. I actually really enjoyed the ending, and if you heard, they basically stated that Big Mac does acknowledge Big Mac acknowledges and shared openly that he doesn't like being on the farm, and that well no he doesn't not like being on the farm. He feels that he doesn't get recognition for what he does or for the fact that he's around basically, and that's a message to us, not to explain to us, oh, this is why we've been joking that Big Mac only says nope and yup and that you don't see much of him. No, this is just to establish the relationship between them, and it does do that very well. Now, I don't like that Big Mac tried hard. However, again, they established that at the end. They did, say, because of the fact that you did this, you're disqualified. So, I would say that's appropriate. But, in the sense, we all know he did it for Apple Bloom to an extent. He did go too far. But, that's what happens. Sometimes you just gotta go too far in order to learn your lesson. So, I think I'm gonna end off on that note pretty much. It was a nice episode. The ending was nice. The Big Mac voice was very funny. And that's pretty much it. Please feel free to comment your thoughts on the episode below. I do really appreciate feedback. Look, I appreciate feedback, both positive and negative. If you don't like the videos or anything, you can, feel free to post it. I just don't like it when it gets if it ever gets to be the point of rudeness. You don't gotta swear. You don't gotta speak in such a rude tone. If you don't like the way I do my videos or whatever, you can state what you want to see changed, and I will try to accommodate the majority. I mean, I don't want to disappoint people, but not everyone's going to like everything. But anyway, I am the Old Connoisseur. I thank you for your time, and can't wait for the next video.